Good evening and welcome back to the Cheltenham Exchange and our Dublin Racing Festival preview, along with two special guests. We've got Geordie Joe and the bad boy of bowls, Scotty Reds.
How you doing, lads?
How we doing?
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, good. Thanks, boys.
Ça va, Scotty?
Ça va bien, monsieur, et vous?
Ah, très bien, très bien. Put on
OJ,
my French
we've got a
shirt
third
for
guest
you.
as well today.
Look, in honour of you. Put my French top on for you there, mate. Make you feel at home.
Très bien, monsieur.
We've got a third guest, OJ.
We have. We
The man in
have.
the bottom
People
right, he's
may
not
well
been
have
here for about 2 months. I don't know if our viewers remember him, but this is Matty Luke.
Yeah.
If you do,
Seen
he's
him
going
once
to
or
play.
twice.
Unfortunately, my work life gets in the way of coming on all the
It's
time. Not
fuming,
like you lot have got
fuming.
9 to 5 jobs.
Ooh, he's biting.
Heathen already.
So we've got a full crew. This and so much of a full crew that we've incorporated AI technology today and put Scotty in Jersey and Joe up in Newcastle right next to each other. That's what we can do. We have the ability. So yeah, how we all doing, boys? Everyone all right?
All good.
4 of you very excited about making your way over to the Emerald Isle tomorrow.
Very
Should be a
much
great
so.
weekend of racing ahead.
Yep.
So Dublin Racing Festival preview. Obviously Thursday night now, so we've got the decks for Saturday's racing in. Sunday's a bit more sketchy. There'll be lots of shows doing their previews tonight, hence why we are scraping the barrel with our guests tonight, but never mind, we do appreciate it coming on, boys. Yeah, and before we get straight into the action, some very exciting news. We've got the old racing pins. So we've got a competition. Look out for it on Twitter tomorrow. Is that right, boss man? On Twitter
tomorrow morning. Little retweet competition, and it's I think it's a set of 4 or 5 pins from Connor at Racing Pins. So yeah, much appreciate Connor, and we'll get that sorted out for tomorrow, just in time for the DRF.
Get involved, folks. So and thank you to Connor at Racing Pins. Right, so weekend racing. We need to keep this as short as we possibly can. So straight into Saturday, opening race, Nathaniel, Lacy, novice hurdle, 2 miles, 6 furlong. And as always, seeing as we've got special guests, we can only start with one of our special guests. So Matty Luke, take it away, mate. What have you got here?
Fucking prick. Yeah, I'm not going to go around saying why I don't like other horses in the race. I'll just talk about the one that I do like. And that's Chitara. She's a second season novice. She finished 1 1/4 lengths behind Astro Diamond in January last year. On a reappearance this year, she was beaten 45 lengths by Brighter Days Ahead. In November over 2 miles. Since she's been stepped up in trip over 2 mile 4, 2 mile 3 and 2 mile 4 most recently, posting progressive RPRs. Since being up in distance, she's gone 137, 139, 144. The step up to 2 mile 6 should suit, and Rachel Blackmore is in the saddle on Saturday. I think the Geldings will struggle to concede £7 to her. She's a thrower who seems to be thriving, and especially over the longer trips. There's only been one mare who won this race and went on to win the Mare's Novice Hurdle at Cheltenham Festival, and that was in 2017. That's Let's Dance. And it was actually the only horse. She's the only horse who actually won this race and then went on to win her next race. I like Chitara for the Mare's Novice, as you know. However, they are saying, haven't they, or they have said that they're not actually focusing on Cheltenham. I think it's Punchestown next. So I'd be more confident that she's going to go out there to win this weekend, yeah. So Chitara for me at 4 to 1. Can't see past her.
Nice price, nice confident selection and a nice price. Scotty, are you agreeing with that, or?
So I think Predator's Gold will win this race. I think he split down memory lane and Coldwell Potter in the really heavy ground back in, I think it was December at Christmas. at Nace, and down. I think he had Daddy Longlegs that was pulled up in that race. I think Predator's Gold's the number one for Mullins. Obviously, I was keen at I Will Be By, the other horse for Willie Mullins in the race, one of the other ones in the race. But Paul Townend's obviously chose to ride Predator's Gold, which is a clue in itself. I think he's definitely going to improve from last time, stepping up in trip. I respect Lachlan, but I think the form is pretty much there, and it's up in the air with Stella's Story that he's reopposing again, who he's already beaten, and Search for Glory I think he beat as well. Matty's horse Jatara, she's getting the £7, but I don't think she'll be up to this level personally. She was well beaten over 2 miles at Down Royal against Brighter Days Ahead, who's one of the favourites for the Mayor's Novice. Improved for the step up and trip the last couple of runs, but I think she'll be out of her league here. And I think Predator's Gold is a good thing, and I think he's going to be a prominent horse for the Albert Bartlett or maybe the Ballymore after this.
Thank you, Scotty. Ginge.
Yeah, I mean, no points for creativity here, lads, but I think Predator's Gold's almost a good thing actually to start off the festival, and very backable at 7-4 as well. Of course, the form behind Coldwell Potter, I think that was a very good run for Predator's Gold, considering that he definitely needs some sort of trip, and I think it could be a nice winner for Willie Mullins and Gigginstown since they've paired up once again. I am like Scotty with Jatara. I just don't like mares against Gowdins over this sort of trip. I wouldn't mind if it was a 2-mile race, but when you're going up towards the 3-mile race against the Gowdins, I think the mares always have quite a bit to find. So Predator's Gold for me, lads. I think he's a good thing to get us off to a good start.
Thank you. So Predator's Gold for the twins in the corner. Johnny, what are you thinking here, mate?
Yeah, well, I'm with Matty on this one, and I'm going to go for Jatara, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, there's only Jatara who's got an official rating of 142 at the minute, so there's not a lot to go on in that score. But if you look back at the RPRs, like Matty just mentioned then, I think she won her last race and got a 144. If you look at Goodland, who won it last year, he posted a 142 just prior to that and then got an official rating of 147. So with her £7 there, surely she's got to have a great chance in this for me. Obviously, Goodland was a decent animal and he beat some half-decent horses in this last year. So I think what she's done so far, the lads have poo-pooed it a little bit there. I think she's got a good chance with those £7. Just looking at the others, I think Stella Story needs a bit of a busier field, really. I think we mentioned it the other day, wants a fast pace, maybe over 3 miles. Hopefully we'll see that later on in the season or maybe at the festival. But I think in this, at the price, set 9-2, Jatara's a great shout.
Lovely. Thank you, Johnny. Split votes at the moment then. Alex?
I'm going to side with the Frenchman and the Geordie. I also like Predator's Gold. Really liked his first race over 2 mile 3, I think it was. I mentioned a horse at Christmas that I was looking forward to see called Dr. Elvis. He was third in that race. He hasn't actually run. I think he had 6 or 7 entries over Christmas. Didn't take up any of them, which was a bit strange. But yeah, I'm going to side with Predator's Gold. I think it could be a good thing. Keep it short.
Thank you, Al. Ian, the pressure's on.
I must apologise to everyone first. I sound like one of the Simpsons that's been smoking about 400 fags, so I apologise.
Ian's ill. He's looking for sympathy. You can put him in the comments down there.
Yeah, I need some sympathy. I keep changing my mind in this race constantly, and I get what the guys are saying about Jatara, but I asked the Voice of Ireland about his opinion, and he's a bit concerned about the drying ground.
It's a rain all day,
to be like good to soft or good to yielding on the day, so that could maybe go against Jatara. So with that, I'm more of the opinion I'll probably go with Predator's Gold as well. Jatara will have a fantastic run, and obviously we'll talk about races later on the second day that she could factor in, her form could factor in. But I'll join the lads and go Predator's Gold as well.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ian and Jamie. Come up with your own opinions next time, Ian, please. Only joking.
It's raining it's raining in Dublin now, by the way.
Ooh.
Could be soft.
And all day Saturday. So ground might be a bit softer than you think.
Okay. Yeah, he's saying about the ground, but Predator's Gold's not exactly round on good ground, has he?
No, No, but
The only one that's got form on good yielding is that Dancing City at 18-1.
no, but yeah, so a lot of her wins are on softer, heavy-ish. But yeah, I'll get your
Yeah,
point.
but look at the improvement she's had since going up in trip. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, I'm gonna, I respect.
I'm not dissing that.
I'm not happy the way Ginger and fucking Scotty just dismissed it like that. Like.
She hasn't beat much though, lads. Like,
I did
Matthew,
say
you had your
Take
pick 10
it
minutes
slow.
ago. Right down.
Predator's Gold beat Mossy Fen Park though. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
nothing wrong with that form. And with Predator and with Coldwell. Anyway,
yeah.
Didn't beat Coldwell.
We'll bring that swiftly to club. Nobody's interested in Lachlan then.
No.
There
Correct.
we go. Right. On to the Spring Juvenile hurdle at 150. Match Brady, Cargeezy, whatever it was. Our special guest on Monday, Mark, was pretty keen on Cargeezy, however it is. Alex, got anything in here, sir, that you...
Not well. I don't really like Stormheart. I mean, that race when obviously it looked pretty impressive. They went really slowly, like ridiculously slowly, and you just sprinted past them. I saw a stat that the circuit time was actually slower than the 3 mile hurdle on the same day, and an 80 rated handicap or something the same day as well. Like ridiculous. Generally, this is a bit of like a triumph hurdle trial, isn't it? And I think the ones that we've seen a lot of, like Carla Conti, Cargeese, etc., I don't think they're sort of good enough for that level. I'll probably take a chance on Majborough to see. I mean, if he's any good. It's not really a confident selection, but I don't really like any of the others, and he's still a decent price, isn't he? Get about 8 to 1 for him. Take a chance.
Thank you. Matty, you a Majborough fan? You had him in a JP Trixie, didn't you, for Cheltenham?
No, not me, mate.
Oh, no? I thought you did.
No, I quite like Cargeezy in this. I was impressed with the first run on the 26th of December. It was the first run since moving to Willie Mullins. I think she ran quite freely that day. Obviously, hopefully, she settles a little bit better. She was beaten 3/4 of a length by Carla Conti. Obviously, one of the rivals that reopposes today. Posted an RPR at 123. And I'd like to think there's more improvement to come. She'd be my win bet in this. If you were worried about the favourite, you can take her without Stormheart. You can get her at 4 to 1. The only one that I did notice, and it all depends whether the main protagonists don't actually live up to expectations, is Noel Mead trained open to question. I'm not completely sure why he's 40 to 1 and High Wind is 9 to 1. Because they both beat Pigeon House by 2 3/4 lengths. And I just don't get the price discrepancy between those. So I'll probably play each way, open to question, hopefully nick a place. I think if you wanted to play the place market, you can get 9 to 1 just to place top 3. But Cargeezy will be the one that for a win selection in this, yeah.
Thank you, Matty. Little thumbs up from the boss man then on Cargeezy.
Yes, very happy with that selection from Matty. I've got the same sort of fault. They said they've got the mare's allowance in this. I noticed with the previous race where Carla Conti won, Carla Conti was, I think it was about £3. Yes, she was 10.6 and Cargeese was getting 10.9, 3/4 of a length. So I make it that Carla Conti's still got to find another couple of lengths on Cargeese. I've got to say with Stormheart, what Alex said, okay, it was visually quite impressive, but I don't think he's beaten that much. The Cargeese race, there was a Nürburgring in that race as well, and some quite good juveniles in that race. But yeah, I think she could be the one for me. So I'll go with Cargeese.
Thank you, Ian. Nürburgring mentioned there, Scotty. What are you thinking, mate?
Yeah, I think looking at the form line with Nürburgring, Carla Conti and Cargeese, I think Cargeese will reverse the form of Carla Conti. Obviously, getting weight in this race is going to be a plus. But I think the form line with Wadu ties in with Nürburgring, which obviously relates to the Carla Conti Cargeese form. Wadu's been unbeaten, I think, apart from the time Nürburgring actually beat her. But get it right. The result was reversed due to interference. So for me, Wadou's probably a touted Boodles horse, which says a lot of these will probably have to massively step up on this run to be Triumph Hurdle contenders. So I'd be with Alex on the respect that Storm Heart's first win was visually probably impressive because they went so slow. I think it was 22 lengths the horse won by. I wouldn't be buying into that, but I'd be chancing Bunting at 10-1 each way. I know it was heavy ground. I think it was Limerick he won that on his debut, and he sprinted away from the back of the last, and he won impressively. But Paul Townend's chose not to ride him. Whether he has to ride the Jigginstown horse, he's probably had the choice, the option. But sometimes I think 4-year-olds, just turning 4-year-olds, they probably don't know who the best at home is. Madgeborough could be a worldie, we don't know. But for me, Bunting, just because we've seen him and how impressive he was, I'd take a chance at 10s each way. And I'd say Cargisa would reverse form with Carla Conti. They'd be the two I'd be interested in.
Cheers, Scotty. Thank you. Johnny?
Yeah, pretty much with Alex on this. I think it is a bit of a watching brief, but I am interested to see how it goes. I mean, if we're going to have something to challenge the weapon that is Sergino, it's going to have to be something very, very good that comes out of this and absolutely hacks up by 10 lengths, isn't it? Because I don't think any of these are going to get anywhere near him from what we've seen so far. So it's going to take up a spectacular performance from one of them. So Madgeborough is probably the one I'd play each way if I was going to put one in. I mean, saying about Cargisa or Cargisi, whatever you want to call her, didn't she prefer heavy ground as well? It's very soft ground. So if we're saying that about in the first race, then it's going to apply to this race as well, isn't it? So, she has got the weight and she'll probably run a good race, but maybe she'll find one or two too good for her. But I'm going to go with Madgeborough on the first time out. I was a bit disappointed not to see Amsterdam in this one as well, but he's obviously going to go elsewhere. Gutted. I want him to run soon. So, yeah. Madgeborough for me.
Sticking with Madgeborough. Okay. And Ginge, if you could wrap it up for us, mate.
Yeah, got quite a strong fancy in here, lads. First thing to mention, though, if you want to back Storm Heart, just wait till the day he's going to go off 2-1, 5-2. He's not going to shorten up from 6-4 in a race this competitive. Of course, the vibes have been really strong about Madgeborough since he was declared. He was pumped from about 20-1 into whatever he is now, 13-2, 7-1. But I think the one you've got to be on here is Cargisa for sure. I have put her up Ante-Post for the Triumph, and I'm still quite happy with the position that I'm in with her at the moment. When she ran last time out, that was her first start for Mullins, her first start in graded company, and she was keen the whole way around, not just for half the race, the whole way around she was keen. She had to come wide twice, and she was still the last horse to come off the bridle despite all of the mistakes and errors that were going on through the race. So she is going to have to settle better, but if she does, she's 10 lengths better than that performance. So for me, it's 7-1. I've already got stuck in each way as well. Cargisa is one of my bets of the weekend. Each way, though. Each way.
Nice, strong selection there for Joe to finish off.
Just touching on what the lads have said about Madgeborough. Obviously, I know Mark Walsh is the jockey. That's obviously because he's JP's retained jockey, isn't he, in Ireland?
Yeah.
Townsend was never going to ride him, was he? Let's be honest.
No.
If Townsend had been on him, Madgeborough would be well shorter than 13-2 now. One I've got my eye on potentially for a Boodles is that Osei Partir. They're tying in with the form from the Cargisi and Carla Conti run. If you watch that, go and have a watch of that run back, and it was only probably 3 furlongs out where they started to actually move on. He travelled really well, and just whether they might not be the Boodles, it might be that another handicap somewhere down the line they're just trying to get a nice mark for. But you can go and watch that run back, and he definitely travels into the race nicely enough. And then obviously he was just schooled down the straight one. They weren't going to get close.
A little bonus there from Matty. Stick it in your trackers. Thank you, chaps. Right. So we move on to 225 and the Irish Arkle. He's on the show.
He's got his car out already.
We can't go anywhere else, can we? We can't go anywhere else. Go on, Joe.
I mean, look, lads, what do you want me to say? He's just flawless, isn't he? I mean, how's Vassal Vega going to beat him when he doesn't have a turn of foot? He's a galloper. He's had every opportunity now to prove that he's some sort of special horse. But even when he has optimum conditions like he did at Cheltenham, Marine just wiped the floor with him. So he's got no opportunity from beating him from behind or from in front of him this time. That's for sure. Marine's just jumped. He's only jumped fences once. He was absolutely flawless. He travels like a dream. Don't worry about the nonsense people talking about the tongue tie. We've seen it doesn't even matter at the moment. He's simply a good thing. He's the only thing that could get near Constitution Hill in my mind. And he's going to take some world of beating. He's probably a 15-20 length winner in my book here, because I don't see how they're going to get Facile Vega to beat this lad. There's just not a hope in hell for anything except Marine National.
There we go. I thought it'd be confident.
Simple.
Joe finally agreed to come on once Gaelic Warrior wasn't entered. He wasn't coming on the show up to that point.
He just wins, lads. He's too good. He's the best. He's the best thing apart from Constitution Hill and Galloping. Simple.
There we go. We would expect nothing less. Love it, Joe. Thank you very much. Who wants to have a pop?
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Johnny, go on.
Go on. I don't really want to talk about Marine National because he's going to win, isn't he? And Joe's just said it all. But what I want to say is it's just a shame that Willie's put away the punters with this thing about Gaelic Warrior running in this. So many people have backed him Ante-Post. He backed in, and then he does that. It's just ridiculous. So that's the point I wanted to make about it. So yeah, Marine National wins. Facile Vega, not very impressed with him at all this season. Been very disappointed with him over a fence. I thought he'd improve, but just hasn't got it. The rest of them I don't think he'll get anywhere near. So yeah, Marine National, maybe not by 20 because they probably ease him down, won't they? But yeah, he should win between 5 and 10, I would expect.
Lovely. Thank you, Johnny. Ian?
So I was on mute. Yeah,
Go back on mute.
Yeah. The only other shame, say Marine wins anyway. The only other shame is I think Ilate Tomp. When I Matty likes, I would have preferred him to go on the race on the Sunday. Maybe go for the
Handicap.
Handicap. Go for like the 2-4, 2-5 that Factor File might have gone in or was going in, but it's a shame. But yeah, I can't see much. It's just going to be the schooling in public, isn't it, for Marine? Let's face it.
Procession.
Move on.
Alex, move on.
Yeah, move on.
Matty?
Well, I've actually got quite a bit to say because I've had a drink now.
Right.
I actually think Marine National is the one, 4-9. Joe's been, we know Joe's been his biggest fan. 4-9 is probably a fair price up against what he's actually against as well. If you wanted to have a bet, you probably could. For me, I think he's running Facile Vega here purely because he's still worried about Gaelic Warrior jumping right. And he's got more chance of getting away with it over the 2 mile 5 than over 2 mile against Marine National around here. That's my thoughts on it. I think the bet, if you were going to not take Marine National on, but if you're going to have a bet, and I know Joe hates him because he's called him a county hurdle horse. But Ilate Tomps, I think he's best priced 20-1. You can actually get him without Marine National at 11-2. If you go back to his chase debut, he beat Oh My Lord by 4 lengths. Oh My Lord wouldn't have beaten Marine the last day, but he was travelling well up until when he unseated 2 out and would probably most likely maybe have come second. Ilate Tomps ran to an RPR 153 that day and on chase debut, and then 154 the next against Gaelic Warrior over 2 mile 3. If he can run near the level of the chase debut, then I think he's the one to serve it up to Marine. His better RPRs, if you have a look, have all come at Leopardstown as well. So I think maybe 11-2 without Marine is probably the bet for Ilate Tomps.
Nicely done. Like that, Matty. Scotty, what are you thinking, mate?
Yeah, I was 50-50 yesterday, but Marine will win. I'd just like to say that I'll probably be place laying Facile Vega 3 places. I'd take a chance, found the 50, and Ilate Tomps will come ahead of him. It won't be unlike Facile Vega to hit one or sulk and finish 5th like he did last year. So I'd rather take a place lay and probably get risk 20 quid to win about 40 or something. You probably get about 2-1 on that, possibly. So that would be the angle I'd take. I'd just lay him 3 places. I don't think he's that good. I'm with Johnny.
Lovely. So, we'll all be watching with great anticipation. Right. Moving on to the 3 o'clock. Racers stay at Leopardstown Handicap Hurdle. Listed race over 3 miles or 3.5 miles. Who haven't we started off?
Start with Bossman, OJ. We know who he likes in this race, and I want to hear how he says it.
Well, we'll go. Yeah, you did give us a heads up on this, didn't you? We got to do it. That's go for it.
I'll try and pronounce it. I think it's Canal End. No, well, I've got two, OJ. So we'll go with Canal End first. I said we had Mr. Deneen on earlier in the season, and he said for us to keep an eye on Canal End for the season. He's got a big pot in him. Let's just say this, and I think everyone else has found out the reason. And he's 6-1. I think he's second favourite now, but he was favourite earlier in the week. Just some things he's you can see he's been campaigned very differently, running at different distances. I think he's been going at 2 mile, 2.5 mile, 3 mile. I think he came across one a bit too good, and we have one for Willie Mullins. He's only gone up £1 since his last run, and the drying ground will suit. The other one I'm going to try and pronounce, so I think is each way money, is Grey Cool, I think is how you pronounce it. That Ray and Jamie told me off last time. It's got Shane O'Callaghan on board, taking £5 off. I think he's 11-4, so take the 5 off that. Up £6 from a Pertemps qualifier run and win at Leopardstown. Beat some good horses up through Delan, who's a graded winner, and of course Foxy Jacks, who won the cross country. So there'll be potentially the two I would take a look at. There'll be the two. Grey Cool and Canal End.
Beautifully done, Ian. Ignore the haters, mate. Scotty, you got anything in here? Big field.
Haven't got a clue, OJ. I'm going to pass this race if that's okay.
That's perfectly fine, mate. Alex loves a handicap. The ultimate king.
Right.
You coming to me, are you, OJ?
Yeah.
I've got a pretty confident selection this one, although
I knew it was a good idea.
I really like Fine Margin. I think he's really well handicapped. First start for Willie, sent him straight over to Haydock. He was third in that. He was second in the race that Crambo was third in that handicap, where Crambo got that terrible ride. The winner, Slate Lane, clearly had loads in hand, and I mean he was. They weren't that far apart, those two. He's only up £6. I mean, Crambo, who was back in the third, I mean, he was running off 139. I think he's now like 157. So, I mean, clearly, I think the front three were well ahead of their marks. And I mean, he's only gone up £6. He's clearly still well in. So, it's an obvious one for me.
Oh, I like that, Alex. Class horse in the race. When we come to Matty.
Yeah, there's a couple I'm going to play in this. Search for Glory is one that I like the look of. Going through the trends earlier on, ticks most of the boxes. Sam Ewing is on board. Best price is around 16-1. The one I actually like stronger than that is a horse called Ballybourne Belter. She's around about 18-1. She's had 2 runs at Leopardstown and has won both of them. One was a bumper and one was the 22-runner mares handicap hurdle that's on the Sunday of the Dublin Racing Festival on the card. Won over 2 miles 6, 2 starts ago, then quite a run at last time out at Nace. If you actually have a look through her form with horses with over 20 runners in, she's come second and she's won 2 as well. Obviously, likes a big field. JP horse. 28-1. I'm getting stuck in.
This sounded a bit like a coffee jar moment here. And I know Matty's been putting a lot of steady in. Could be worth reading the jar. Johnny?
Yeah, just looking actually, didn't he win it last year, JP? With Percival Le Galois, was that the one that won it last year, this race? So he's obviously got... I think they've changed the name of the race, have they, or something? But no, it's the same name actually. It's just half a furlong more for some unknown reason. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I've got a couple written down here. One was the one Ian mentioned, Canal End, and that's purely because Johnny mentioned it on the video. If you haven't watched the video, by the way, make sure you watch it. It's like doing well. So yeah, I think he's still on a workable mark of 125 after his third back in December. So I think he'll have a good chance. His price isn't the best, is it? I think he's second favourite at the minute. 6-1. Me other one's a bit of a stab, something a bit further down in the prices, and that's Joyo Masham. He's sort of stuck a little bit on 136 at the moment for both hurdle and chases. He's been in a couple of Mickey Mouse chase races this season that don't really tell you an awful lot, but he has won off 132 in Wexford last May, so he's only £4 higher than that. I just wanted to see him in a bigger field like this again to see hopefully something gives him a toe into it. Nolan has some good results in these kind of races. So, yeah, I'll have a stab on him as well at about 20s, I think.
That was his last hurdle run as well, Johnny, when he won that at Wexford.
Yeah. So, I think he might have a little bit of juice in off that mark still. So, yeah, hopefully they've been keeping him back, wasting time over the big ones.
Lovely. Thank you, Johnny. Ginge, have you had a look at this one at all?
I haven't got many handicap fancies, OJ, but I am all in the same camp as Alex here. Fine margin. Some really strong form, hasn't he, between Crambo and Slate Lane. He looks obviously well treated. I didn't fancy much in the race, to be honest, until I spoke to a couple of pals about this, to be honest. So I am sort of stealing the selection. But after taking a good old look into the form, he really does look well in here. It's obviously a big handicap, so I'm not sure I'd want to take any less than 5-1 because it's obviously quite short in that sort of field. But I think he's a good thing as far as his handicap mark goes. So he has to run a big race for me. That's fine margin.
Lovely. Thank you, chaps. Big wide open race. Couple of quite strong fancies on fine margin, the favourite, and a couple of nice longer priced ones identified from the other lads. Okay, swiftly along to the 410. No, we're not. I'm jumping ahead here. We're going to the Paddy Power Irish Gold Cup, of course, over 3 miles. Galopin de Champs. They're not going to thank me, but hands up if Scotty or Johnny wants to kick us off on this one. Either of you got anything particularly that you want to chuck in here to talk about? Johnny, go on then.
Well, I just think he wins. After his last performance, which was an absolute worldie, one of those breathtaking ones, be good to see how Fast or Slow can get any closer than anything did back in December to him. But I just think he wins, and then he wins next month, to be perfectly honest with you, OJ. I don't think there's a lot more to say there. This is a bit of a Mickey Mouse race, isn't it? Which is unfortunate because, it's supposedly the best race of the day.
It's interesting if the market had been before the race in December, after the previous race, when everyone was picking up Fast or Slow and writing Galloping off. I wonder what the market would look like then. Go on, Scotty.
Yeah, he's just going to win the race, isn't he? I think we probably only got 4 runners because he scared everybody off. Even Willie normally has 3 or 4 in this race. I think he's chucked Iron Maximus in just to give him a spin, just in prep for the Grand National long-term target, hopefully. But yeah, it's all about galloping, and he'll win easy. I think Fast or Slow will be put in his place finally in this one. So yeah, I mean, he's 4-9. It's a backable price for me. I mean, odds on sometimes is okay to back. I think it's a good price. He's probably the best at Leopardstown, and that's even after his massive Gold Cup performance. So I'd be if I'm having a good day, I'll have a sizable bet on him.
Lovely, thank you, Scotty. Ginge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how Galloping gets beat here, lads. Not only is sort of Fast or Slow got to get to sort of the level Galloping showed last year, but Galloping's risen again, hasn't he, this season? He's gone 3, 4, 5 pounds better with that performance at Leopardstown. I just don't see, even tactically, how they get him beat this time. I think Galloping's going to go and set off in front and make Fast or Slow chasing this time, and then we'll really find out who's the best over this sort of trip. But I'd be gobsmacked if Galloping got beat here, to be honest with you.
Okay. Matty, Ian, Alex, anybody think that Fast or Slow could repeat what happened at Punchestown?
No.
Yeah.
To me, OJ, I'm actually surprised that they're running Galloping here. I mean, obviously, he'll be running here, which is his 3rd race of the season. Then he'll be running at Cheltenham for his 4th race, and then probably Punchestown. It's hard. I mean, he had 4 races last year, didn't he? And in the 4th of the 4, he was obviously pretty tired when he got beat by Fast or Slow, and I don't know. I was a bit surprised when they actually declared him. But I mean, I'm happy to see him run. I think he'll win still. But yeah, I was just a bit surprised that they decided not to just skip it and go straight there. I don't know. It's just quite funny how like he's obviously a 3-mile chaser and he's very exuberant, isn't he? He sort of likes to ping his fences. He puts his all into it, and you can get 5 runs from him. But then you get Henderson. He runs Constitution Hill 3 times, and he races against just dogs most of the time. So yeah, it's just a bit different how different trainers go.
Probably something to do with £140,000 prize pot, isn't it? I would imagine.
Probably, yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah, may have.
You're saying about ratings, and especially with RPR. So they're saying that Galloping Deschamps ran off a 188 RPR. So Fast or Slow has literally got to get like 190 RPR, which would be ridiculous just to beat Galloping, but I can't see it.
No, right. No need to discuss any further. We'll move on to the Ryanair Handicap Chase, 2 mile, 1 furlong. Last race on Saturday. Scotty, whether you like it or not, you're kicking us off here, mate.
2 races.
The
Two
one I
races,
fancied
well,
didn't
yeah.
get declared.
Oh, yeah, we have. Sorry, we have. You're still kicking us off, Scotty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the one I fancied didn't get declared, which is a shame. But yeah, I think Path to Rue is an interesting one. He's favourite. So there's a few. Johnny loves it. There's a few horses that are very unlike me. Favourite backing in handicap big fields, but I think there's quite a few. Like Fine Margin was mentioned previously. I think Path to Rue is a similar kind of profile. And I know the Voice of Ireland. I know he's getting a mention again. He's big on this horse as well. It sticks out like a sore thumb, really, doesn't it, in this field? So he'd be the one that I'd just probably have another go on, and I think 5 to 1 is a pretty good price, to be honest. So I'd be interested in having a go.
Lovely, like that. Thank you, Scotty. Johnny, you're sitting there agreeing.
Me and Scotty are going to be cheering this one over the line, I reckon. Yeah, he's been in my tracker actually all last season, and like Scotty said, Jamie was keen on him last year, wasn't he, at the festival in one of the handicaps? But I was looking in with a right chance in December, and he fell at the last, didn't he? But he got put up £4 for that, which is slightly annoying. And then he bounced back a couple of weeks ago at Fairy House, but he was behind Hunter's Yarn, who was a hot pot in that race, and they eased him down totally at the end. So he obviously didn't want to get too close to him. So I just think he's still on a really good mark. He can win off this. And he's got one of these days due, and hopefully it's going to be Saturday. So, yeah, Path to Rue all the way for me.
Lovely. Thank you, Johnny. Joe, have you had a look at this one? Or
Nothing here, unfortunately,
really?
OD.
That's
probably
right.
best to move on here.
No problem at all. We'll shift across to Matty Luke.
Yeah, I'm going against the lads here. I quite like the horse, the Big Chap. Available around 9 to 1. Was beaten last time out by the Folks Tiara, who reopposes in this. Runs to off 137. Ticks a lot of the trends, and he beat my mate Mozzie back in October by 2 lengths. And my mate Mozzie was on a few people's minds for the Grand Annual. He did go down 1.5 lengths at Christmas to Founder 50 in the Racing Post Novice Chase off 136. So you'd imagine he'll be nudged up again if he hasn't done already. I haven't checked. I'm probably clutching at straws with the back form of it. But I think off 137, if he's ridden from the front, I think he could go close.
Lovely. Thank you. Ian?
We'll be back in a sec, lads.
Turn your mic off. I'm going to go with... yeah. I'm going to go with against the lads, actually, and it ties in with Path to Rue. I'm actually going to go with the second favourite, Solness. For Joseph O'Brien, I think Jay, who's on board, JJ Slevin. So for what I saw, he was quite impressive in his handicap chase win at Fairy House. Has gone up £9. He's now rated 147, but he has some of the back form. He's been in the graded races and beaten Hercule du Sceau, I think, twice over the summer. The drying ground will be a benefit as well. So we're saying about Path to Rue. I think Solness beat him. He was now the bookie's favourite. He was 17 lengths behind, and Path to Rue's got a chase mark of 136. So I don't think there's going to be much in it. I know one's carrying 11-1 and one's carrying 11-12 top weights, but I think it'll be quite close. But I'll go with Solness.
Solness for Ian. Thank you. And Alex, another nice handicap for you to get stuck into here to finish off. Anything took your eye, old chap?
Yeah, I quite fancy one actually. It's the British Raider. I'm going with Manara. Was bought by Brian Dew, sent obviously to Sophie Leach. First start from coming over from France. They chucked it straight in that handicap at Cheltenham in October, where Dancing on My Own ran, which I thought was quite telling. They obviously think quite a lot of the horse. Didn't give his run that day. Ended up I think unseated in the end. Second start back to Cheltenham again in November, but looked much better that day. Finished 6 lengths behind the winner, and then came back again in December and actually won. I mean, the last few races obviously progressive RPRs, 130 and 135, only running off I think £3 higher than when it won at Cheltenham in December. I think it could be still unexposed, and I mean, clearly, obviously held in high regard based on how they placed it first time out. And I'm going to take a chance that we're going to get a very, very rare British winner at the DRF.
Lovely, thank you, Alex. Would you still class? Yeah, well, Sophie Leach runs half her horses in France these days, doesn't she? Would you still class her as a British trainer?
I've got to counter as a British trainer. We don't have many.
And James Reevely would definitely be classed. James Reevely definitely be classed as a French jockey now. Same as Scotty down there, our very own French jockey.
He trained in England, so I'm classing it as English, obviously. Got to be done.
You can have that one. We'll give you that one.
Thanks, OJ.
So,
I appreciate that.
Alex has got a nice fancy there for Madara. Okay, I think that's everybody. Thank you, fellas. So now we do move on to the last race of the day. The bumper, A Dream to Share, is actually out running, or certainly entered. So, yeah, go back round, Johnny.
Yeah, it's a bit of a watching brief again for me on this race. I mean, A Dream to Share won this race last year, is that right? I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sure, he won this race. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, he's been injured and they've kept him to bumpers by the look of it, because it's a bit late starting a hurdling campaign now, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, he's the most likely winner. The one I am looking forward to sort of seeing each way to see how he goes is Hen's Tooth, who won quite well on debut on heavy ground. So we'll see what the ground turns out like. But each way at 18-1 at the moment, I think, is a really big price based on that run. You can get 18s with Bet365. So, yeah, I think he's as low as 12s with other bookies. So I'll probably have a little stab each way on him, but thoroughly expect A Dream to Share to win. I'm sure they'll have him ready for it. So, yeah, that's it from me on that one.
Can I go next, OJ?
Sorry, mate.
Can I go next?
Of course you can.
I've not got a selection, but I've got a bit of a mini rant that's been boiling up ever since.
They shouldn't be fucking running in it, should they?
No, it's called the Future Stars Bumper. Redemption Day ran in a bumper 3 years ago, and A Dream to Share ran in a bumper 2 years ago. Like, what is going on? It's a fucking joke.
Are you fuming, Alex?
I was going to say,
I've seen Alex is angry.
It's stupid. I'm not putting up a selection, but yeah, I don't
In protest.
In protest.
It honestly is a farce.
Quite right. Well done, Alex. Matty, are you protesting?
No, fuck them. They shouldn't be running.
How dare they run their horses?
Right. Ian?
No, but not being funny, they neither can run in the champion bumper, can they? I don't think.
No, they can't. Yeah.
It is
So
pretty
what
pointless.
person like Jalon Dudere, I mean, Gordon did say after his last win he's going to go straight to Cheltenham, but there's no wonder he's not running in this. Because if he goes in this and gets beat by these,
he's not happy.
He could have a hard race and then it ruined it. I don't know.
They need to change the rules on these bumpers. They shouldn't be allowed to run in a bumper if they've won one in like the previous season.
That year, you shouldn't be allowed to run him on the year after that.
Yeah. And they should. I also think they shouldn't allow horses that have been in a point-to-point to run in a bumper or won a point-to-point, because they've already had experience of going over a racecourse over fences. Why do they need to go in a bumper?
It's not really a race course. I suppose that would be their argument. It's more
Yeah,
like
it's just as good as some of the shitty little race courses elsewhere.
I do agree though, Alex. Because I've just had a rant myself. It's disgusting that they're both in the race. Personally, it's just it makes it a farce. Like it really does.
Everyone's fuming.
I won't be having a bet in it anyway.
I'm scared to ask. I'm going to go to Bert and Ernie. I think Ernie might have just had his say, but Bert.
Well, you'd be disappointed if either one of them won, to be honest, because A Dream to Share, Redemption Day, they both had more problems than Man United have had in their last 10 years put together, haven't they? There's got to be something lurking in there that's better than both of them. I mean, yeah, I'm sitting out, sod them all, that's what I say. I'm with everybody else. It shouldn't be allowed. It's ridiculous.
You'll find Joe and Scotty chained to the winning post for this race doing a protest.
Suffragettes.
Go on, Ian. Ian's all over joystick.
I am. That's my pick.
I knew it. He had to be.
That is my pick.
Is it?
So he won a 2 mile 4 bumper at Leopardstown over Christmas. He beat Arctic Lane by a length for the quarter. Pat Taff on board. And I think if he rides the same way that Patrick did on that day, so he led from the front, get the others out of their comfort zone. I think that could, was he 11-1? I think could be a good price. And I just echo what the guys are saying about having A Dream to Share and Redemption Day in this race is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I'll go with joystick each way.
Okay. Was that a subliminal hint for comfort zone along the way there? Was it Ian chucking that little comment in there?
Could be.
We know you're a fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, okay, that's enough of that. We've had lots of controversy. That wraps up day one. That wraps up Saturday. And we shall move on to Sunday's racing, where obviously we won't know the decks until around 10 a.m. tomorrow. So a little bit harder. Or probably a lot harder, actually. 12:40 race on Sunday. Before we get started, I knew I was going to say something, lads. I'll do after we've done Sunday's racing. I'll ask for your best bet for the whole weekend rather than do one each day, because at the moment I'm struggling to summarise after each race. Okay, so 12:40 on Sunday.
That'll be the whiskey
Paddy
chasers.
Mullins Mares Handicap Hurdle, 2 mile 2 furlong. Ian, you can kick us off here. No, you can't. Sorry. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Oh.
Alex, you can kick us off here.
Oh, thanks, OJ. I've got one I actually really fancy in this at a nice double figure price. Horse called Double Pink, currently 16-1. I think she's well ahead of her mark. First time out the season, she was beat by a horse called Royal Eagle. That horse had a benefit of the run, and she wasn't beaten very far. That horse is now off 1-3-4. Second time out, she actually won at Wexford, and one of the horses behind her was called Molly Mango. That horse then went up on New Year's Day and won by I think 14, 15, 16 lengths, and has won before that race as well. Next time out, she was then chucked in Grade 3 against Jatara. She wasn't obviously up to that standard, but I think it's obviously quite telling that obviously they hold her in quite high regard. She's running in this race off 115. I think it's a nice each way price.
Thank you, Alex. Bossman, please forgive me. I must apologise, but Alex had tipped me a little wink earlier on in the day that he really fancies one in here. So
I'm happy for Alex to take that. So she's one I had on the list as well, and the other one I won't go into too much detail. Was Bijou. I think it was how you pronounce it. Broomfield Bijou was the other one, so they'll probably be the two I'll play on the day. But yeah, I agree with what Alex said about Double Pink. But yeah, they'll probably be my two.
Lovely. Double Pink. We'll go back down into that left corner. We've got Scotty and Ginge together there. Have you got any selections in here, boys?
None from me, but I think Scotty does.
I was with Bossman, Broomfield Bijou. That was my strongest fancy in the race. won at the Punchestown Festival last year. He's run a couple of solid races this year. That would be the one, probably a bit high in the weights, but be covered away in that big field, should travel well. Foxy Girl is the favourite, obviously. And I don't know why, excuse me, very short price, 3-1. Form doesn't suggest it should be that price, whether they know something, whether it's been working well at home. Again, I'm not too sure why it's favourite, but I'll be taking that on, and I'll be having a small each way with Boss Man on the Broomfield Bijou. Good French name.
Good French name. Lovely. Thank you, Scotty. Johnny?
Yeah, apologies from me on this one. I didn't have about 9 free hours today to look through it and then find out it's a non-runner on the day. So pass.
We'll forgive you.
Thank you.
Matty, anything you like in here, mate?
Alex said everything that needs to be said. We clarified earlier on that was the horse that we both liked. So yeah, double pink for me. There's no point repeating what he said. So
Shit races.
Yeah, it's dog shit.
Oh, the cast off stuff.
You can get a free run.
Lovely. Thank you, fellas.
But it's got to have a winner in it.
It has got, and it's pretty open race.
We'll all follow Alex.
I got to mention
Get
one.
stuck in.
I got to mention one.
Oof, OJ.
Ooh,
No. I'm not saying it wins, but it's
You're the
one
winner in the week.
It's Cliff Horse, wasn't it? But no, it's one that has run over here a couple of times for Crawford. And the first time, I can't remember, it ran at Perth or somewhere. I'm trying to find out quickly now.
Was it
Bruce
Bruce
behind down memory lane? Yeah, Bruce, yeah. Had formed behind down memory lane from last season, I think. And
Patrick and
as ran somewhere like Perth and Catterick or somewhere over here, but seems to be coming along
on
nicely.
Sedgefield.
So,
Little one.
It's rather
Sedgefield as well.
track in Britain.
yeah, Stuart Crawford horse, isn't it? So anyway, just a little. I'll be keeping an eye on that one. Okay. Again. Okay. 110 race. Ladbrokes Novice Chase. 2 mile, 5.5 furlong. American Mike in here. So, Matty, I'm going to have to come to you first here.
No, you can't. He's in the race, but he's not the one I'm picking. I'm going with Grange Sky West. 6-1. I always go through the trends and try and get a little bit more perspective on it. I know you lad said he didn't jump out to his right. I'm really worried about Gaelic Warrior going left-handed. I think he's a great horse going right-handed, and he'll probably go and win the King George next season. But left-handed, it's a complete different thing, and I think Grange Sky West can put his jumping under pressure from the front. So I'm going Grange Sky West at 6-1 to beat Gaelic Warrior if he runs.
Johnny, do you think Gaelic Warrior will run?
Well, you'd like to think so. Obviously, this is what they've said now, isn't it? I think, but they might change their mind again tomorrow.
No, I meant if Grange Clare West runs, OJ.
I like Grange Clare West. I do think Gaelic Warrior wins though if he runs here. I'm not sure if he'll run Grange Clare against him though, to be perfectly honest with you. And Factor File. I don't think they'll both turn up. But I think Gaelic Warrior will win, and then he'll win the Turners next month. I've got no worries about the jumping issue. Like I've said all along, I think he's good enough to win despite of that. Gaelic Warrior for me. But if Grange Clare does turn up, I'll be obviously very interested in seeing how he gets on, seeing as he's one of my chasers to follow.
Lovely. Thank you, Johnny. Scotty.
I'm actually thinking of, I've heard tonight as well that Grange Clare West is not going to run. He's drifting. They think he's going to be pulled or not declared tomorrow. Corbett's Cross is still in there, but he's going to run on Wednesday next week, I believe. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. I think Willie's obviously got Gaelic in here now, and he's probably going to run, and he's going to obviously have Factor File to beat. Factor File for me will smash Gaelic Warrior in this. I don't care about Gaelic Warrior.
Go on, Scotty.
Going left-handed, I'd be taking him on all day long. For me, there's two angles I look at in racing. Horses can go on heavy to soft ground if they don't like it as much as good ground, but horses cannot go left-handed or vice versa if they do not like it. It is a massive, massive thing for me. So I'll be taking Gaelic Warrior on. I'll be laying him. I'll be backing Factor File, and I don't care if I lose. I'm sticking my neck on the line like I did last year when I said State Man would beat Honeysuckle. Everyone said I was crazy. So yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it, and I'll be following my mate Favre de Chamdou for a good hunt around for the National Hunt Chase. But the reason I'm bringing up the Grange Clare West potentially not being declared is because I don't know if it's right, but I think Nick Rocket has to finish in the first three in this race to qualify for the National Hunt Chase. So Willie would need to drop one of his out to give Nick Rocket a better chance of getting in that top three. So I thought that was quite.
Hasn't he got to get over 3 mile though?
Yeah, it's got to be over 3, hasn't it, Scotty?
For the National Hunt Chase.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. It's 2 mile 5.5. So
he still needs the one more run.
He still needs the one more run. So I just thought I'd point that out. So yeah, I just still don't think Grange Clare. I can't say it. Grange Clare West won't run. That's just the angle anyway. So.
Yeah, no, I agree there, Scotty. If he doesn't run, then I'd be looking down the thing of you maybe Factor File. I don't like Gaelic Warrior left-handed.
I think Factor
If
File is that
West
good.
runs, then I'll back him.
I think he's that good. He could win the Turners or the Browns, and I think he'd be a Gold Cup horse for next year. I think he's a special horse, Factor File.
Lovely.
I think Nick Rocket won't go to that 10-up race, is it? Instead.
Yeah.
Be an easier option, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. While you're alongside.
Yeah, Gaelic Warrior for me, lads. I think everyone talking about Gaelics jumping out to the right is a load of nonsense to me. You see plenty of novices and even graded performers at staying level, open company, jumping much more right than what Gaelic does. If you go back and actually analyse his last 2 races, he doesn't jump much to the right whatsoever. It really doesn't worry me at all. And when they run at Leopardstown, they always tend to go to the wide rail. So that's probably going to help him a little bit too around the final 2 bends. It literally doesn't bother me one bit. I think he jumps a lot straighter than he did last year because he's grown up and he's matured. I think he looks a different sort of beast. And I think this is absolutely going to be his true. I think he takes the world of beating here. Factor File will finish second and then he'll go up and run in the RSA. I think these are 2 winners for you at Cheltenham. Gaelic Warrior win the Turners and Factor File win the RSA. And I think this is going to show that as well.
Just one thing, Joe. I know you said a Gaelic Warrior there didn't worry about jumping right. He's run right-handed both times this season. Now he's going left.
Yeah, I suppose the crib with it is that he's been beaten twice as well by Mullins, and both have come at Cheltenham, haven't they? So look, there is a worry. I understand the talk, but for me, his ability outweighs that, and I don't think he goes that far right. I really think if you go back and watch his races, he's barely going to the right hand side.
Go and watch the Boodles, mate.
Say again.
And tell me he doesn't fucking jump right.
He was a novice over hurdles, and that was his first start in the UK. Like I don't. And then his second run, he beat Hermes Alen, Champ Kyle. He only got beat by Imperi Pass. I think he's a weapon Gaelic Warrior, and I think it's taken him a year to find himself. He's a big old.
I genuinely think he's very good going right-handed. Left-handed, I wouldn't fucking touch him.
But we haven't seen him left-handed over fences yet, so how anyone could judge it, we don't know, do we?
No issue. He hardly
got to give him a chance at it.
I just think if you go watch his races, he doesn't. I don't know why everyone's obsessed with saying he jumps to the right. Most horses jump a tiny bit to the left or right, and he doesn't really do it that bad anyway. Certainly not this season. So for me, he's an absolute good thing this weekend. And even though I wanted to see him go up against Gaelic Marie National, he's a good thing here, lads. He doesn't get beat over 2.5.
Would you want to take even money about a horse going left-handed with his quirks going that way first time at even money against this field?
That's probably a fair question. But so I still see him as the winner. I mean, look what's up against him. Factor File got beat by American Mike before improving last time out. Factor File proved that he's at least a 3-miler. Gaelic Warrior wins this doing handstands, lads. Don't worry about his jumping. He's a good thing.
Go on, Joe.
I love a bit of lively debate.
Jumping. Don't worry about his jumping, but you've got to fucking jump fences to win.
Yeah, but at the same time, Matt, you fancy Bird at Road, you can't jump a twig, bro.
I don't mind. Like Gaelic Warrior, I admit, like right-handed, he's a monster, and he'll go and win the King George next season.
That's what I agree.
Going left-handed, I would not touch him if you give me money to fucking back him. Going
But
left-handed.
you haven't seen him do it over chase on the chase.
That's what I mean. I'd rather watch him and let him go. I wouldn't put fucking money on him.
I suppose, like you said, he is even money, isn't he? Like, so it is short at the same time, but I think he's good value. I wouldn't want to be offering anyone money against Gaelic Warrior. Let's put it that way.
Did he win at Leopardstown left-handed last season?
Yeah, that was over 2 miles though, Ian, and a quick handicap hurdle where he was like 50 stone ahead of everything.
Mm.
I think he's just a different animal this year. Same as Al Fabiolo. Like, he's jumping mustard now, I think. I know he gets low, but anyway, we'll go on to him, I'm sure, in a moment, won't we? But yeah, Gaelic Warrior, lads, for me.
Lovely. Thank you, Joe. I must interject that I love Gaelic, and I was watching keenly on his first run over fences to see if he jumped noticeably to the right. And I think I messaged you, didn't I, John, and said that he looked to me like he jumped pretty straight, to be honest with you, which gave me a bit of heart. But yes, there was plenty of debate about that. Alex, what are you thinking?
I'm with Joe. I think he'll win. I mean, if there weren't these jumping concerns, he wouldn't be evens. He'd probably be 1 to 2 or shorter. So, I mean, you're getting fairly compensated for it. I guess it's kind of a bit like golf, isn't it? I mean, I hit the ball sort of left to right when I hit my driver, but I can still play a hole that's a dogleg left. So,
I love that.
Yeah. Why not?
No jumping concerns. He'd be taking on Marine National in the fucking Irish Arkle.
Yeah, equally though, mate, it's not like over hurdles where you can go miles right. If you're jumping over fences, he's not going to be able to jump as far right as he did when he was going over hurdles. So, and it was only a couple of hurdles he did it on.
Well, if he goes and wins, fair enough. I just wouldn't back him at even money with the tendencies he showed going left-handed over hurdles.
All saying that, I think he will win, but part of me hopes he doesn't win because they haven't been brave enough to take on Marine National, and I kind of hope he gets beat. I hope he jumps really well, but gets beaten because then that puts him in a really good position. But I still think he'll win.
Thank you, Alex. Ian, the voice of reason.
Yeah. He went Gaelic Warrior wins, and it goes to win the trainers. I mean the Turners.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Been waiting for that.
Okay. We spent far too long on that race.
Yeah.
140, Tattersalls Island, 50th Derby Sale, Novice Hurdle, over 2 miles. Who's not kicked us off for a while? Matty has, is he?
Yeah, stop coming to me first.
Joe, go on then, Joe.
I got a bit of a dark horse here for you, lads. I mentioned it in the chat, but Ballyburn's going to be hard to beat. But if you go a little bit further down, there's a horse called Gold Dancer for Willie Mullins and Gigginstown. Now, you've got every right to be sceptical, obviously, with the horse coming over here for the first start over hurdles. But he is sired by Dr. Dino, who, of course, is the sire to Sharjah, State Man, Dino Blue, some really nice horses. And with Gigginstown and Mullins teaming up again for this season, I don't think they're going to be buying a crop of too many bad horses. And I actually went back and watched his run in France, and I know you can't take too much from it, but he improved through the run. He travelled nicely, and he actually showed a really good turn of foot at the end of the race as well to put away the second horse in really good fashion. That horse then went on and bolted up next time out in similar fashion. They gave him sort of hold-up tactics. He then found a turn of foot. I've actually had a swipe at this one, lads, at 50 to 1. Now, I could end up with egg on my face. I totally understand that. But I don't think they're going to be buying too many bad horses. And the fact that they're actually even considering sending him here, to me, actually tells us quite a lot about the horses too. At the same time, Willie Mullins has just sort of started to find his form in the last few weeks. And he has been saving a few of his good ones for a bit later on this year. So at 50 to 1, I think Gold Dancer is not a bad punt each way for someone who likes to, just have a swipe at one now and then. I really do like this horse. I think he's going to be much better than that price anyway.
I'm looking for the coffee, chat. I'm trying to find it. It's a bit empty. I'm liking that, Joe. Thank you very much, sir.
I'm just wondering where you're finding 50 to 1. He's fucking 20s.
He's not. He's 33s here on Hill, and I backed him at 50s myself. So
Gold Dancer.
Yeah. I backed him.
Well, he's in back then. He's into 20s now on Odds Checker.
He's 33 to 1 here.
33 for Coral, Matty.
33.
I've taken a bit. I've taken the 50s already, I think. Stolen the
Good
value.
lad. Good lad. Ian liked him for the Martin Pipe.
Oh, God.
I did, yeah.
Who?
I got scuppered.
You mentioned it the other day, didn't he? That gold dancer.
Yeah. He's
Doesn't
one of my
have one
horses
run.
to follow, but so I was hoping that he would go that route, and obviously he's not had any runs for whatever reason. But yeah, I echo what Joe was saying. But yeah, it's definitely one for the Supreme or the Ballymore markets potentially.
They're not
Yeah.
going to buy. They're not going to buy too many donkeys
No.
anymore if they're teaming up. Like he shows everything you'd want to see from like a novice hurdler coming over. He's got a very similar profile to someone like Gaelic Warrior, who's going to improve quite a lot for the run as well. So yeah, I'll take a swipe, lads. Gold Dance will do me at a price.
Go on then, Ian. Continue your thoughts there, mate.
Sorry.
No,
No, not at all.
No, I'm happy with. I do think Ballyburn will win as much as my wallet wants Ballyburn to go to the Ballymore or whatever it's called now. I think he'll be too good for these. I think they're just something that for Firefox, I think beat him over 2 miles at Fairyhouse. He was still very impressive when he came up against when he went up in distance. Cletus Poulor has come out and won since. And then just to say what Joe said about Gold Dancer, could be an each way play on the day, 33-1. Might be worth looking now just before declarations because I think a lot of these are going to come out. So it might be worth trying to get the price now. But yeah, there'll be my two, Ballyburn and Gold Dancer.
Lovely. Thank you, Ian. Alex, are you keeping a close eye on Daddy Longlegs here?
No, not at all. I think Ballyburn will win, and then similar to Joe, I'm gonna throw one in at a price that I quite fancy. I'm waiting for ages for him to come out. Jitlangi, it'd be his second run for Willie. He actually was second to Gust of Wind over in France last year. Before Gust of Wind obviously came over to the UK or to Ireland, only beating a couple of lengths. First start for Willie, he ran in May at Tipperary, won as easy as he wanted to in a maiden hurdle. Been put away since then. Obviously, just give him a bit of time. I think they said they're going to try a different approach, didn't they, this year with their ex-juveniles, giving them a bit more time to sort of come into themselves because generally the form from the juvenile is pretty poor in their sort of 5-year-old season. So, I mean, they've done that. I mean, he's still a novice as well. And, I mean, he's a price of 66-1. If he runs, I think it's worth having a go each way on him. I think he could be anything, really. He's one of those. But, yeah, I think Ballyburn will probably win.
Thank you, Al. Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, it looks quite an interesting race on paper, doesn't it? But it depends who shows up here. I think if Ballyburn does, then he'll probably win and then go on to the Supreme. Anything less than that, then I suggest probably he'll end up in the Bearing Binghams. So, yeah, I think Farron Glory, if he goes, he'll provide a stern test for him. I mean, he's the only Grade 1 winner in the field, isn't he? And he would have won 2 if he hadn't have fallen in the Tolworth last time. Slade Steel probably will go. I see him more as a 2.5 miler, to be perfectly honest with you. So, yeah, I think Ballyburn's probably the one for me, OJ. Just quite point and click, straightforward one in this.
Lovely. Thank you, Johnny. And Scotty?
Yeah, Johnny covered most of what I was going to say, actually. I think Slade Steele's probably a horse who thrives better on a bit of heavy ground, I think. So going up in trip for the Ballymore will probably be his target. He's the each-way play for me in the race at 7-1, Slade Steele. He's obviously beaten King of Kingsfield, who's come out and franked the form. The Royal Bond form with Farron Glory is obviously there in the book. King of Kingsfield beat Mirazar West, who's come out and won since. So it all adds up there to that Royal Bond form, which obviously brings Farron Glory right into the equation as well. I think you've got the Supreme winner, and I think you've got the Ballymore winner in this race for the festival. I think Ballyburn will win the Ballymore or the Barring Bingham. And I think Farron Glory will win the Supreme. I think they're two fantastic horses. And I think Slade Steele could be right up there in the Ballymore as well. And it's just a price perspective. Ballyburn could hack up his even money. But Farron Glory, 4-1, Slade Steele, 7-1. Just from a price perspective, I'd go 7s each way on Slade Steele and take a chance on him. But it wouldn't be a big bet. It would be one of those races where I'd just be happy to see them all get round for my Ante-Post bets.
Lovely. Thank you very much, chaps. Okay. Scotty, I guess.
Done Matty there.
Oh, sorry, Matty. Apologies. Sorry, mate.
No, I think, like the lads have said, Ballyburn's probably the most likely winner. Me and Johnny actually penciled him in for a handicap, but he went and blew out last time. I think I actually quite like King of Kingsfield. I think the quicker they go, the better he'll be. So at 12-1, I'm gonna be playing him. One towards the festival, there's one called Quaid de Bourbon. He's also a Gigginstown horse for Willie Mullins. I'm going to keep an eye on him and see if I might even have a bash on non-runner no bet actually at around 18-1 for the Martin Pipe. His best run for Mullins was when he come over 2 mile 3 in the maiden hurdle at Nace back in December, when he won by about 3-4 lengths.
Did you just say ass?
Nass.
Oh, Nass, sorry.
Meant to say Nace.
Is that near Stirling?
Slated for pronouncing it wrong. So I'm going to keep an eye on Quaid de Bourbon if he runs for a handicap. But King of Kingsfield's going to be my play in this at 12-1. I think it's a fair price.
Lovely. Thank you, Matty. Brilliant. Right. So 210. Ladbrokes, Dublin Chase, 2 mile 1. Scotty, are you a fan of Dino Blue? And do you think that El Fabiolo could have a tough race?
Yes. I've taken a lot of tablets the last couple of days, so forgive me when El Fabiolo hacks up, but I think this is his toughest test. I think this will be a tougher test than the John Bon race in the Arkle. Giving Dino Blue £7. She is a fantastic jumper. El Fabiolo, everyone keeps on saying, stop grabbing the mistakes, the errors he makes them, they're there. The one where he smashed 4 out last year in the Irish Arkle, it's been documented. If she goes clear and makes a good round of jumping, she'll be hard to beat. And I'm going to have a few quid on her at 4-1. And if El Fabiolo wins and beats us, so be it. The thing that will be in El Fabiolo's favour, of course, is Gentleman to me. The pace up there, she'll obviously be ridden handy. Whether she'll take Gentleman to be on for the lead, I don't know. So it will help El Fabiolo, but I'm just going to have a go on Dino Blue. I think she's the third best 2 mile chaser, probably at the moment, up there with El Fabiolo and John Bon. I probably prefer her to John Bon, so she's probably second in my rankings at the moment. But yeah, El Fabiolo will probably win, but if he does make a mistake, Dino Blue could capitalise. And last year, Blue Lord went off 1-4 in this race. And Gentleman to me went off, I think, a double-figure price and actually beat him. And El Fabiolo's 4-11, Dino Blue's 4-1. It's a no-brainer. You've got to back her in this if you think she's got a chance, which I do. So I'm going to have a go at a small bet at 4-1 to upset the apple cart.
Lovely. Thank you, Scotty. It was in a little Twitter conversation I was having last night. My eye was drawn to the fact that by a Mr. Phil Daniel, I think it was, who said 2 miles is definitely her trip.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Johnny, Dino Blue.
Well, I suspect El Fabiolo will win the race. I mean, I like Dino Blue, as you know, and I've got her already for the mare's chase. Hopefully, she'll win that next month. But I'm just wondering if there is, the old market without the favourite. I'm not sure what price you'd get on Dino Blue, but I'd be interested to see what it would be. If you can get somewhere around 4 to 5 evens, maybe I might be quite happy taking that, because she's beaten all the others last time, hasn't she? The Gentleman to me, Captain Guinness and Wow were in the same race, weren't they? Fast or slow won't run in that race, I suspect. So he'll be up against Galloping, won't he? So I'd probably play her without El Fabiolo. But 4-1's tempting, isn't it? You never know what can happen in these races. Like Scotty said, Blue Lord got beaten it last year, so things happen in these type of races, don't they? They're not gimmies. So interesting one to watch.
Lovely, thank you, Johnny. Matty, any thoughts, mate?
El Fabiolo wins, mate. It's a no bet race. It's just sit back and watch. I know Johnny are not keen on Dino Blue, but she's not going to get anywhere near him, is she? Let's be honest. She got beat off 140 to fucking Mascada in the fucking Grand Annual. just El Fabio, sit back, watch it, he'll win. Crack on, no bet. If she runs well, great. I know Johnny's on at a bigger price for the festival, so obviously wanted to do well there for him, but I can't see her getting close to him.
And then does he walk Champion Chase?
Yeah.
You'd think so. John Bon had a harder race than they were probably expecting last time out as well. Probably took quite a bit out of him, the way he had to rally back up the hill. El Fabiolo probably just goes and wins that as well.
Lovely. Thank you. Joe, thoughts, mate?
Yeah, pretty straightforward for me, OJ. I like El Fabiolo. Like Scotty said, I think the pace that gentleman to me is going to set will just basically fall into El Fabiolo's hand. He's just probably going to pick him off over the last two fences. I really like Captain Guinness as a horse, but I did find out earlier he's got an abnormal heartbeat and it's happened on more than one occasion. So that would put me off him, but I really do think he's a good horse, Captain Guinness. But El Fabiolo should take all of the beating. I'm not a fan of Dino Blue, but I do see the attraction at the same time.
Lovely. Thanks, Joe. Talking of Captain Guinness, our very own Captain Guinness, he can sink about 10 pints of him in the back of an eyelid. No, Johnny joking. Alex.
Ian can think 10 halves. That's all he drinks is halves, isn't it? Yeah, similar to the boys, I think El Fabiolo is going to win. I don't think Dino Blue will be second, though, so I think I'd probably have a look in the betting without market, and I would actually look at Captain Guinness, funny enough. I know he pulled up the last day, but prior to that, he put up RPRs of 165, 165, and 164. Obviously, really good level of form. He was second in the Champion Chase last season. I don't think Dino Blue's anything near that personally. I don't think she'll win the Mares Chase either. Probably my pocket talking because I've backed something else, but yeah. So I think El Fabiolo will win, and then probably Captain Guinness second. I'll either do a forecast. Or I'll have a look at doing betting without the favourite, wherever you can get sort of better odds.
Lovely. Thank you, Alex. And Boss Man.
Yeah, not much else to add, I don't think. El Fabiolo should win. I see that Dino Blue, big gentleman to me, by 7.5 lengths last time out. So there'll probably be the two, maybe, I don't know, it'd probably be no price on Dino Blue without El Fab. But yeah, El Fab should win and then go win the Champion Chase. So easy as that, OJ.
Lovely. Thank you, gentlemen. Right. So, big race of the day, Irish Champion Hurdle. Johnny, have you got any thoughts? Interesting that Big Bad Bob's still sticking to the trip?
Yeah, again, it's a point and click race, isn't it? State Man will win. Absolutely dot up. And then probably go on to have a crack at Constitution Hill next month. Yeah, I'm interested to see how Bob gets on because he's obviously seems a little bit more settled this year and he's running a lot better. So just like to see if he can get his head in front of Impere Pass. If there's a little bet of those two to see who wins out the two, I might have a little go on Bob. They do that, don't they, with some bookies where you can have a little match bet. So I might have a little stab on that because I suspect Bob will be the higher price. So yeah, State Man should wallop these.
Lovely, thank you. Anybody got any reason particularly to oppose State Man? Alex, are you? Yeah.
I'm in the same camp as Johnny. I think State Man will win, and then I'll probably look at doing Bob to beat Impere Passe as well.
Yeah. Anybody got anything particularly strong that they want to chuck in?
Not strong, but you'd be disappointed if State Man got beat on the basis of the Champion Hurdle obviously only being sort of like a month away. So I'd just like to see him win convincingly. I know that wasn't the question, but just to make a point, it would be disappointed if he was beat in regards to the Champion Hurdle, perhaps. Unless Bob Ollinger beat him, because then the house would just erupt.
Yeah, I mean, State Man, he's just unfortunate that he's bumped into a freak, can't he? I mean, he was made to like a fucking handicapper in the Champion Hurdle, and he's not, but
solid as they come as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Wins, move on.
Lovely. We happy to move on, fellas? Bossman's giving us the nod.
Oh, thumbs down.
Oh. Who gives the thumbs down?
Don't go above Scotty's head, little thumbs down.
Yeah, it looked like he touched the screen and then it like give a thumbs
Yeah, little
down.
thumbs up like that.
It did that earlier. Scotty went like that, and that's what we laughed at, and it all came up with loads of thumbs on the.
Is he got one of them translation things on, has he, Jim?
Probably. Some subtitles.
Right, okay. Jesus Christ. The O'Driscoll's Irish Whiskey Leopardstown Handicap Chase. 2 mile, 5.5 furlongs. Yeah.
Go to Scotty because this is his nap of the weekend.
Needle in a haystack.
No. Can I
Does
start,
anybody
please?
want to go first?
Go to Scotty.
Yes.
Scotty, go for it.
Nap of the weekend, one of my stronger fancies of the season, runs here, will win. Been crabbing Gaelic Warrior for this weekend, but the horse has been running behind them a couple of times. Conservatively, if there's ever a JP McManus absolute plot prize money win for the DRF, which will be bigger than the plate prize money at the festival. Ran a good race behind Imagine earlier on in the season, and that's I know the way you're thinking. This is an absolute good thing for Gavin Cromwell, and I cannot say enough about this horse. It's just an absolute obvious thing for me, which I spotted about 2 or 3 runs ago, and I will be absolutely hammering the living hell out of this horse, and I just think it wins.
It's time. I love that confidence, Scotty. Love that. There we go. To convert some of them coppers into pound coins, I reckon.
I could give you more information and go into the ins and outs of everything, but sometimes
don't give too much away.
You just have this one where you just know it's going to go in, and this is that time, I think.
Oh, I love that, Scotty. Loving that. Thank you. Alex.
I've also got a big fancy, but it's not the one that Scotty's gone with. My big fancy is... Sorry?
This could be compromising me then.
Oh, sorry. It's Hartwood. Ian's happy. I've probably done pretty well there. So it's the first time in running a handicap. He's had 3 starts over fences so far. It's been second to Blood Destiny, not beating, well, 8 lengths or so. He's had a second to Grange Clare West, beating 2 lengths. And he's had a second to Hollow Games, that was the season before. He's running off a mark of 136. I think he's clearly much better than that. And also, he's not actually by Voidenord, but he's by a horse that's by Voidenord. So he's sort of like Voidenord's grandson. And I love Voidenord. That's probably my favourite National Hunt sire. Obviously, no longer with us and won't be producing anymore. Hasn't been for a while. But yeah, Hartwood getting stuck in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm putting the coffee jar back away, Scotty.
We're giving you the forecast, OJ.
Forecast, yeah. Let's hope they all go. All 31 runners. Ian, you seem to have a little twinkle in your eye there.
Yeah, definitely. They were the two. The one that Scotty said and the one that Alex said was the two that I had for my pick. So I'd probably go with.
Of course you did. Of course.
I'd go the other way you're thinking to win, and I'll go Hartwood each way. But yeah, they're the two I had written down. I had everything all written to go, but no, perfect.
Show us your paper now.
Like
don't believe you.
Dogs at it.
OJ, when I was talking, I could see him writing stuff down.
Yeah, I know the way you're thinking in Hartwood. See it?
No, you need to go back to school, mate. Yeah, we'll believe you, Ian. Only because you're ill. Matty?
Yeah, there's a couple that I like in here, mate, at prices. Obviously, with the handicaps, I know repeating it myself now, I do tend to go off the trends quite a bit. And 2 that tip most of them. The first one is Watchhouse Cross, available around about 20-1. Henry de Bromhead. I've gone for him purely because of the trends he runs out. I know it's not great with fences. He beat Saldir back in June. He's not really run great since. But he did actually finish 3rd behind one of Scotty's old fancies for the Grand Annual before he was ruled out, Captain Combi. And the other one is Fire Attack for Gordon Elliott. He has got an entry on the 7th of February at Fairy House. So he actually won off, the last time he won was £4 higher mark off 137 over 2 mile 5 at Punchestown back in May 2022. So you are going back. But they've been messing about with him over different trips. And now he's back over 2 mile 5 and he's at 33 to 1. And he's £4 lower than what he last won off over this trip. So I'll be having a bash on him at 33s.
Lovely. Thank you, Matty. Just Watchhouse Cross ran a decent race in the Troy Town, didn't he? Behind Ian's favourite horse, Go Beach. One of your faves, isn't it, Ian?
Go Beach, yeah.
Right. Joe.
Nothing here, unfortunately, OJ. I'll literally just side with the lads. That will do me here. I'll do an Ian and I'll follow Scotty and Alex. I'm only joking, boss man. But nothing for me here, OJ. Sorry.
No problem at all. Johnny, anything take your eye?
Yeah, I've got a couple noted down. I mean, to be fair, depending on who turns up, if a lot of them turn up that are down on the card at the moment, it'd be a really, really interesting and good race, I think, for a handicap, because there's a lot of the old favourites in there that have gone in a lot, better races in this, haven't they? They've been in grade 2s and grade 1s and all sorts. So it should be quite an interesting race. But I've heard that James de Burley has been working really well at home, and he's got one of these handicaps in him. So whether it's this one is another matter, but he's one I'll definitely sort of keep an eye on, see if there's any money for him on the day. I'd rather Fakir, the old favourite Fakir, stay in to keep the weight sort of down. That'll keep him on 11 stone then, so that would make a difference. I also think the other Mullins one that won last time, that Meeting of the Waters, has got a good chance. I think he's still got another one of these in him because he absolutely pissed up last time, didn't he? But I think he's got a really, really good chance. I think he's got a bit more under the bonnet. So if we're doing an exacta, lads, he definitely needs to be in it. The other one I want to mention, which I'm surprised Alex didn't prompt me earlier, was my old favourite Top Veal Ben's in there again. He ran an absolute stormer in it last year off £6 higher. And about 3 out, he looked like he was going to win, but he's obviously getting on in years now. But, if he can get his way out front, he might be a chance of a place again. If he can get to like 6 places or something on the day, it'll probably be about 28, 33 to 1. So I've got to have a little go on him for old time's sake. So, yeah, we'll see what happens between those top 2 on the day, and then I'll probably back him each way.
Lovely. Especially if the rain comes, Johnny.
Yes, he likes that, doesn't he?
He likes it nice and heavy, doesn't he? Right. Wide open handicap, but yeah, a nice few little picks in there, boys. Thank you very much. Right, we're nearly there, I think. 350. Timeless Sash Windows handicap hurdle. 2 miles. Who wants to kick us off here? Ian, come on. You've been a bit left out here, haven't you?
No, I haven't got a real selection as such. There's a couple I'm quite interested in. Obviously, Magical Zoe, top of the market. Will she go here? 7 to 1 could be one. There's one I can't take the credit for. I'll give him a quick plug. It's the Let's Talk Racing lads. Andrew Blair White mentioned a horse called one I can't pronounce it. Bialystock, I think it is.
Why
if you look at some
doing
of
it to yourself?
I don't. But some of his back form in previous races, if depending on if Farron Glory and King Kinsfield go quite well, his last race at Ferry House, he was 4th in that. In October, Tipperary, I think it was Williamstown Dancer. You got Birdie or Bust in that one. Could be quite interesting. And then you've got the Wall Park. There was another one here, Galway in the summer, Zarek the Brave. So he could be with some of those that have come out and won since. He could potentially be a good price at 14 to 1. But I haven't really got a selection as such, OJ. Just keep an eye.
Okay, thank you, mate. Alex.
I'll be honest with you, I had a look through this race and I didn't really come down on anything I really liked. So no selection for me.
No worries. No need to go any further. Batty. He's got to have
Two.
something.
2 for me, mate. One Last Tango and Fortune de Fortunata.
Matty
They
Luke,
both
I'm
tie in.
disgraced.
They both tie in on form. They both take the trends. So I'm gonna have a play on both of them. I think they're around about one's 14 and one's 8-1 on hills. Out of the two, I'd probably favour One Last Tango as the stronger. But yeah, I'll be playing both of them, mate.
Lovely.
Fortune de Fortunata and One Last Tango.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Mr. Luke. Scotty.
Yeah, I've got one here, OJ, which I fancy. I think she's a class mare in here. She could be a cut above them, to be honest with you. She's running for 11.5, and that's Zenta, another JP horse.
Yes!
Yeah, she's obviously finished third in the Triumph Hurdle behind Gala Marceau and Lossy Mouth, and you've seen Gala Marceau's obviously performed really well in France. Ran an okay race the other day at Doncaster, and Lossy Mouth's come out and done what she did. Zenta followed up by winning the Grade 1, a short head from Beau Zenit at Aintree. I think she obviously, when they thought she was going to be a chaser, she's only had one start over fences and didn't really shine, and they brought her back to this pretty quickly, which tells me that she's ready to go. And I think this big field could suit her. And I think running off, like I said, that 11.5, she's getting a few pounds. I think in the fast run race, she'd definitely be there at the end, and she'll be in the frame for sure. And I think she's got the class to win this race. So I'd be really keen on her.
So the amount of videos where I've said Zenta, anybody? Zenta? Nothing. I knew there was a reason we asked you on, Scotty. Apart from the good looks.
And to get the French viewers in.
And because Karen messages on Twitter asking to. And, there we go. Yeah.
Would you expect Mark Walsh to be on board, Scotty, or will he be on common practice?
If they're all declared, he will definitely pick Zenta if he had any sense of a common practice. I think JJ Slevin could potentially ride common practice. I've had to think about that earlier today. If I was picking, I'd definitely choose Zenta. You got to for the Grade 1 form.
Lovely. Where are we going? Johnny.
Looking at the lineup there, is it the old adage of picking the JP one with a red cap? Because he's got about 7 in it, hasn't he, at the moment? And the red cap always seems to do well. But I'm incensed with Matty Luke there for not going for our old favourite, common practice. I'm still a big fan of his.
He was high on the list, Johnny, but then he got scrubbed. Sorry, mate.
He's been scrubbed. He's been put up £9 for his last win at Fairy House back in December. A couple of horses way down in that field have actually come out and won since. Little mix-up in a handicap, and I think Flamborough was in a novice hurdle. But I still think he could still run a good race in this. I would back him each way in it because, maybe he is a little bit too high in the weights now, but I still like the horse. And to be fair, I hope Mark Walsh doesn't ride him. I'd rather JJ Slevin on him, to be perfectly honest with you. So, yeah, I'd be happy with that. And Walsh riding Zenta.
The horse that common practice beat Johnny by your side, it was One Last Tango beaten by 4 1/4 lengths. Common practice only beaten by, was it 1.5? And he's been put up quite a bit. So he was on the list, but yeah, I've gone against him.
Tell him, Johnny. Tell him he's a Judas for ditching you.
He is. He's a Judas. Alex, you're right there.
And a prick.
Always a prick.
I was going to... Right. No, I can't do it.
What?
Well, I was going to say, speaking of pricks, we'll go to Ginger Joe, but that was just like...
No, he's not a prick. He's a fucking wet wipe.
I can't bring myself to do it.
I used to like you lot, like. Yeah, Zenta for me as well, though, OJ. Nice class angle in the race. Well handicapped here, and I really just like the form that she had with Beau Zenit back last season. Pretty much just echoing everything Scotty said, to be honest. She's a class horse and a handicap. Yeah, she's a nice one. She'll take some stopping, that's for sure.
Fair shout, boys. Fair shout.
Let's hope so.
Especially she's got a red cap on.
Alex is going to have a little nugget in here,
by the way.
What am I going to do, OJ?
You've got a little nugget in here for us, haven't you?
No, I already told you I had a new selection. I didn't fancy anything.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, that's my
I knew
that's
that.
my nugget.
He used
I
his
knew
nugget
that. I was
before.
just checking.
Pink, whatever.
Okay, yeah, my selection's Zenta. Yeah, there we go. I'll join the Zenta brigade if I have to. The boys have convinced me.
Welcome
Just
to the
do what
club.
Ian-
Yeah, I'm in the club.
You're quite
Do
happy
what
to
Ian
replace
did.
Matty Luke in the Common Practice Club, Alex.
No, I'm not joining that one. I'll join the Zenta club though. That sounds quite fun.
That hurt me, Johnny, when he didn't run in the booth when we were crying.
I know.
That hurt us, that, didn't it?
He would have ran well in that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, fellas. Right.
Last one, OJ.
race on Sunday. Do you want to take it away, Ian?
Probably the old adage, Mullins in the bumper. I don't think you can go past the two. I don't know if both would be declared or one would be declared, but Aurora Vega 6-4 at the moment. She seems to stand out, but if she doesn't run, I would probably go with Baby Kate. She's currently 10-1 at the minute. But if I do run, I'll go Baby Kate each way, Aurora Vega to win. But I reckon one or the other will probably run. But they'll be my two.
Thank you, Ian. Alex, you got any interest in the mayor's bumper?
Not massively. I think Aurora Vega's form is absolutely dog shit. I've had a look through. I've even got some stats to back myself up for you, OJ, because I know you like some stats.
Love a bit of stats.
Sorry? Do you like stats?
Love a bit of stats.
The horses she's beaten in her 3 runs over bumpers since those races have run a combined 41 times for 1 win. So I wouldn't exactly class that some strong form. A horse I'm going to go for is Montebello, sort of the third favourite, another Munir horse. I can back it this time because probably no Darryl on board. Beat Sporting Glory by 13 lengths. That horse went on to be second to Romeo Coolio, who has been a bit of a wanking horse on Twitter. He was second to Romeo Coolio, beaten by just a length. Montebello beat at 13. That's sort of my own only angle into the race, really, other than that. I mean, Aurora Vega could be good, but I mean, her form doesn't show that she is as good as people think she is, but could be anything. Never know. Montebello for me.
Lovely. Like that, Alex. Thank you. Where are we going? Matty?
I'll play Baby Kate if she runs. If you look at going back to Aurora Vega, I think on her last run, was it Sharp Object she beat by 3 lengths? And Baby Kate beat Sharp Object at Cheltenham by 15 lengths, and I think the 5th Lark Mount Lass has come out and won. Sunset Marquez, no, that's not come out. And I think June Bell's come out and won since the 2nd. So I'd be playing Baby Kate if I have a bet in it, if declared.
Lovely. Thank you, Matty. Johnny?
Yeah, I was a bit cheesed off seeing Aurora Vega staying in bumpers this season. I mean, she's 6 now and they're still pissing about in these bumpers. They should have had the first bumper run and gone straight over hurdles with her, I think. But she might be good. We'll see on Sunday. But yeah, I think she'll probably take the beating. But that's a good point Matty just raised there about Baby Kate. So that might be a each way value. It currently at 10-1. So yeah, bit of a watching brief, really, isn't it? Not going to get too excited about this.
No, fair enough. And we'll come to the Crazy Twins, who we'll let on that we haven't really done it through AI. They're both actually sat in a bedroom in Cheltenham at the moment, waiting for a flight over to Dublin tomorrow.
Go first,
Just about to order a Greg's. Oh. Go on then, boys. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll just quickly say I think Aurora Vega, I don't think she's as good as kind of like connections previous have said, like Facel Vega for Vega. I think she's like a summary kind of horse who's the way I'm looking at it is they've got Maureen now. They've known about Maureen for some time. And if if Maureen had gone wrong and they weren't as impressed with her, she would have probably gone to Aintree or Aurora Vega. This is definitely the easier race, and I think Maureen will probably run at Aintree. And I think that's going to be a tougher graded race for her. And she's going to be over novice hurdles next year. I think Aurora Vega is probably, like Joe said, messing around too late in her career to still be in bumpers. She probably should have been novice hurdling this year, which is a worry for me about how good she is. Maybe she's just not schooling well and they're just having a bit of a prize money hunt for her in this race. But I'm with Jazzy and the other angle is Baby Kate each way at 10s. I think it's probably the wiser bet. But I won't be there to have a bet anyway, so I couldn't give a shit. So, but no, I think that's probably the safer bet is Baby Kate each way. But it's not a massive opinion. But the stronger of my opinions for the race would be that Aurora Vega's not as good as everybody hopes she is. And if you take 6-4, you're probably playing with fire, I think.
Lovely. I like that. Nice bit of analysis. Thank you, Scotty. And Ginge.
I got one of my bets of the festival in here, actually, lads, but I'm dipping off with Scotty about 20 minutes before the last race. We can get our bus to the airport, which is a shame. So I backed her already. I don't usually I'm not often a fan of mares, bumpers. Definitely agree with Johnny. I'd like to see Aurora Vega have been running over hurdles now. But I like a horse in there called Mabel Etoile. She's 16-to-1 for John Kiley, a proper shrewdie when it comes to finding decent bumper horses. And she did take a little while to get going in her first start, but last time out, she ticked all the boxes for me. She was visually impressive. She had a nice turn of foot. She's got plenty of stamina as well in her pedigree as well. So I think she could be a horse that's going to go under the radar a little bit. And if she wins, I could see another one of like someone like JP snapping her up, because I really do think she's a pretty smart horse. Perhaps a few of the ones at the front of the market are a little bit flustered here. So Mabel Etoile for me is a pretty good bet, to be honest with you, lads, at 14-to-1 also.
Ooh, that's
probably worth going back to actually watch her race and then just see what I mean, perhaps. It's a visual sort of one. So
nice one. Nice way to finish off. Without watching the race, quickly clicking on and seeing that she's ran on soft, heavy and heavy, according to the Racing Post, and then was pulled last time out for unsuitable ground on soft to heavy ground.
Don't pay attention to the notes. Don't worry about
it. Makes you wonder. So, yeah, she shouldn't be bothered by the ground either way, according to that. Lovely. Thank you, Joe. And, thank you all, fellas. A long weekend and quite a lot to get through with so many of you picking, but some proper nuggets in there for everyone to get stuck into. So without further ado, if I can whip round and ask you all for one bet for the whole weekend, and I have to stress, if anybody picks your bet before you, go with it still. You double it, it just makes it stronger. So don't worry about anyone picking before you. So we'll start off. Well, we'll have to go with a special guest. Scotty.
Yeah, I know the way you're thinking in the 320 on Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
Mabel Etoile to win the mare's bumper, the last race of the festival. Get on.
Thank you, Ginge. Johnny.
You said that, OJ, but I actually changed mine last week because Liz had the same, and I went for Ginny's Destiny, didn't I? And it worked. So
yeah, it did work, but that's what I kept saying. Don't change because.
But so I'm going to go. I'm going to keep away from the hot pots, obviously, and go with Path de Rue on the Saturday in the 410.
Thank you, Johnny. Matty.
Guitarra, Nathaniel, Lacy.
Yes, you are very keen, aren't you? To be fair.
Yeah. And my next best is Ballybourne Belter in the 3-mile handicap.
You only asked you for one, Matty. Pipe down.
Not been on for a while, so I'm giving an extra one.
Pipe down, Uncle Fester.
Have you got an Ante-Post one while you're at it?
To be fair, we need a list of 10 off Matty to make up.
No, don't start.
Ian.
No, Nap is Guitarra, mate. Get off to the weekend, off to a flyer.
Good man. Ian.
I'll go the same race as Johnny. I'll go with Soulless in the 410 Saturday.
Going against a bit of conflict. And Monsieur Galpin.
I'll go with Hartwood in that 320 handicap on the Sunday.
Lovely. Thank you, gentlemen. So, naps of the weekend. Scotty, I like the way you're thinking. Geordie Joe, Ma Belle Etoile, Johnny Pastorou, Matty Jatara, Ian Soulless, and Alex Hartwood. And yeah, I think we better wrap it up because it's been quite a long night. Thank you very much to Scotty.
OJ's in centre.
Sorry?
Is it? Is your
Matty said, who's yours? And I said, it's got to be Zenta.
Oh, Zenta, yeah. Zenta or I'll be keeping a little eye on Brucio as well. Between us, but
Brucey
nothing strong for me. Yeah, no, actually, no, I'll copy the boys. I'll say Zenta. Yeah, Zenta nap for me.
Go on, OJ.
Yeah, so Scotty, Ginge, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having
Have
us.
a good night's sleep. Enjoy your trip. Safe journey tomorrow.
Thank you.
Johnny, Ian, safe trip tomorrow. Have a great weekend over in Dublin, boys. Oh, you're flying Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday. Good. Matty, good to see you, mate.
Yeah, always nice to come on when I can.
No, we don't. It's we all leg pulling aside. We know you're a busy man with shifts in work and stuff, but it is always good to have you on, mate. And
he will be back for the November meeting in Cheltenham.
In November.
And, super stalwart Alex, top man, thank you. So thank you, everyone. If you enjoyed it, remember to post anything you fancy for the weekend down in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Comment and subscribe to Ginger Joe's racing channel. Although I'm pretty damn certain everybody who's been watching already probably is. If you see Scotty walking around the streets of Dublin on Sunday, run the other way. And apart from that, remember to keep an eye out for the competition on Twitter for the Racing Pins package, which was very kindly donated from Connor at Racing Pins. And yeah, have a great weekend. Enjoy what should be a fantastic weekend's racing, and we'll see you all again soon.